If you find yourself in Hamilton and you're looking for a really nice, quaint, romantic place to spend a weekend, I strongly recommend that you avoid this place as if it were the plague. It was renovated by the lousiest amateur builders in the country.
The bed and breakfast rooms that have been lovingly crafted in this 100-year-old home are opening for business tonight.
Looks like...
But they're barely fit for barnyard animals. There's holes in the floor. There's not one working shower.
I see one leak.
And the carpeting should be illegal.
Okay, let's not panic.
Letting the nominees for Canada's Worst Handyman create a boutique hotel...
Joe! Well, that's...
probably wasn't the greatest business idea.
Well, that's real safe. Send the guy that knows pretty well all what he's doing down here and lean up against an electrical box and play with water.
But it did allow us to learn who amongst them is adequate.
Easiest task ever.
Ever.
No, you're just becoming better.
And who is beyond repair.
I'm not the worst.
At the end of this, our final episode, we will be naming Canada's Worst Handyman.
At the end of this program, one of these 5 builders will be named Canada's Worst Handyman. And the hapless candidates include Casey, this caulking gun-toting cop from Abbotsford, BC.
This is like a puzzle, and I'm terrible at puzzles.
Doesn't like problem solving.
It's like a puzzle. This is a crazy puzzle. I don't like puzzles.
What's a puzzle?
Puzzle is anytime you got to read the instructions.
Is Casey Canada's Worst Handyman?
I could be Canada's Worst Handyman. I very well could be.
So could Tex. At home in Nova Scotia, Tex likes to
Get her done.
In rehab, Tex did get most jobs finished.
They're done. We're done. Done.
But that doesn't mean they were done right.
I think they look all right, man.
Is Tex Canada's Worst Handyman?
What makes me nervous about being the worst is the ridicule I'm gonna get.
Then there's Charmaine. At home in Thunder Bay, Charmaine often loses sight of her handyman goals.
My whole vision has been destroyed.
In rehab, her spirit's almost been destroyed.
I'm done. Oh, Lord have mercy.
Is Charmaine Canada's Worst Handyman?
To me, I'm not Canada's Worst Handyman.
The next candidate is Desmond. Des left his home in Woodstock, Ontario,
Unreal.
so he could learn real handyman skills at our rehab center.
You sucker, son of a...
Is Des Canada's Worst Handyman?
If I am the worst, it would be a shock.
The final nominee is Joe the Bullet Barbaro. At home in Barrie, Ontario, Joe described himself as a...
Dummy.
In rehab,
Well, I'm a retard.
when Joe wasn't being intellectually hostile,
This is dumb.
we had him in class with the rest of the bad handymen, bombarding them with information.
You score the top surface of the drywall.
Work triangle is 3 points.
Our head builder, Jeff Woodmansey,
And when you just touch it, it'll break.
and our head designer, Joe Alcorn,
You have your fridge, your stove, and your sink.
have finished all of their rehabilitating duties.
Come on, let's go lay some carpet. Let's get out of here.
At the end of this episode, they will help me choose Canada's Worst Handyman.
What a genius I am. What a genius I am. I'm a genius, man. Look at that. Genius.
Is Joe Canada's Worst Handyman?
It might be me as Canada's Worst Handyman because I just don't get it.
As the nominees for Canada's Worst Handyman approach the rehab center for their final day of work, They have no idea that overnight, we transformed this central tool area into the bed and breakfast's lobby. This is a reception they won't soon forget. The bad builders are about to arrive to begin their final day on the job site. What they don't know is that this evening, when the very first guests arrive at this B&B to check in, those guests will be them. That's right. Canada's worst handymen are not just the builders of this quaint inn, they're also going to be the first customers. They just don't know it yet. Pressure's on big time. At the end of this show, we will be naming Canada's worst handyman. And in 10 hours from now, the very first guests of this B&B will be here. Time's a-wasting. Go.
Break.
Today's first challenge is assembling simple kitchen chairs.
They're naming Candy's worst handyman today?
Yeah.
Today?
Today.
I'm not sure that this bed and breakfast is going to be ready.
We got 10 hours to put this chair together?
Yeah, right.
What do you say about 10 hours then?
People are going to come and stay in this room in 10 hours. This room has to be so long.
We need some sleeping bags then.
While people work on their chairs, you ready for guests?
No.
I want to know who's going to be open for business.
I'm going to try my best to be ready, yes.
I'm going to try my best.
Okay. You're going to be ready in 10 hours?
I think so. I hope so. I better be.
Before Casey arrived in rehab, he said,
I have a long list of things that I want to do in life, and building a house from the ground up is one of them.
But now?
I have renewed feelings when it comes to building a house. I think my dreams have been shattered.
Seeing how his wife has to do most of Casey's projects,
Here, how about I flip it over? You think that would work?
Marnie must be relieved to hear that Casey's house building plan is over.
Yeah, makes more sense to me.
Assembling this chair makes no sense to Joe.
Mine looks nothing like this. Done.
Tex, Des, Charmaine, and Casey
Done.
Thank you, baby.
all finished their chairs in less than 40 minutes.
This couldn't have been any simpler. Thank you, good Lord.
This simple task is driving Joe mad.
He didn't get mad. He didn't get mad. He just asked me.
I don't care about getting mad.
I'm not doing it. Finish it yourself. I'm not working with her today.
I've just had it with them. I don't know what the solution is. Is there tissue in here?
Joe may have banished his sister,
Me, man.
but he needs someone's help.
Hey, Char,
Yeah,
can I get a hand off you for a sec?
sure. What do you need, Joe?
He doesn't need this. Charmaine is unscrewing Joe's legs so she can flip them upside down.
There we go.
Okay, now what?
Now, Joe's got a chair that looks like a surreal art piece.
Off. Look at that.
People often ask me if the folks on this show are really as bad as they seem.
Let's see if I can concentrate now.
Believe me, Joe is trying his hardest.
100 turns and it still ain't tight.
There's certain kinds of chairs that'll, like, if you sit on them, they'll cause hemorrhoids.
Yeah, no doubt. This one will cause a pain in the ass.
I think it will, yeah. It's going to be a real pain in the ass for the person who has to sit in it.
Well, why did I not put the thing in? The seat?
What do you think you might have done wrong in this chair?
This chair here?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for sakes.
You see the problem now?
Yeah, I see it. I see
the problem? Just try sitting in there, Joe.
Yeah, no.
Try sitting in that. You see the pain in the ass I'm referring to?
Yeah. I lined it up, so here we go again.
Hopefully Picasso will be your guest. Joe's chair defies explanation.
So I got a chair here that's backwards. Chair.
After the break, Casey tries to salvage his plumbing job. With loads of tape.
That's for stopping drafts.
Oh.
Not for stopping leaks.
Oh.
The nominees for Canada's Worst Handyman have created a brand new bed and breakfast by doing a series of building challenges.
Water off, please! In the no mercy room!
We've written out every challenge that you've done in your room on a list.
To get ready for tonight's grand opening, the builders have to go through this list in order, checking off the jobs that are done. When they reach a job that's not done, that's what they have to finish.
There. That's not worth it. You put a line through it and move on. Until you do that, you cannot move to the next step. The people are showing up here in 9 hours, so I suggest you get going.
Okay.
How many of these things are actually going to get done? I'm guessing not that many.
This is gonna be fun, actually. Finally get to finish stuff, hey?
Tex is betting on total success.
This is my proudest moment right here.
All right, Derek. Give her hell.
Whereas Charmaine doesn't even want to revisit her first failure. In episode 1, Charmaine was the only handyman not to get their safe in the wall. But today, Charmaine says the 20-minute job is
Not worth it.
Write it off.
Charmaine's first failure ties her with Joe.
Now let's fix the holes in the wall.
Since getting to rehab, Joe's handyman knowledge hasn't really blossomed.
Genius.
The first 2 jobs on Casey's list are finished already.
All safe. Done. Hole in wall. Done. Shower. Let's have a look at the shower.
Casey's shower had multiple leaks the last time it was turned on.
I see 1 leak.
Can you resolder solder?
Oh, yeah, I think so. Just want to find out where it's leaking first.
Okay.
Casey's pipes haven't been under pressure in over a week, and they're not liking it.
Woo! Okay, that needs to be fixed.
Casey isn't the only handyman cleaning up.
All right, this is going out to the garbage.
Dez's closet is a write-off.
Are you losing your closet?
Yep. It's gone.
Oh, maybe we want it.
Do you want it?
Joe,
Huh?
do you want Dez's closet for our room?
Yeah, we'll take it.
Okay, hole in wall done. Shower is done, but it leaks. I would never do that in my life.
Neither would Joe.
So shower.
Line through.
It's the same with Charmaine.
Okay, well, that's not right. You gotta, how do I shut this off?
And Tex.
If the person's too lazy to walk around the corner to the kitchen sink that works to get warm water to wash their ass, and they're too lazy to wash their ass, then aren't they?
Apparently so.
Casey is determined to salvage his shower.
Look at that.
Look at this.
I need the water shut off, I think, downstairs.
Casey is hoping to fix his leak by slathering his wet pipes in hot solder.
No, something's wrong here. I'm not sure what.
Casey's problem is that he's not sticking to the 5-step method we taught him.
Rats. I don't know. Is there such thing as pipe tape? Is there
Oh, there's lots
plumber's
of
tape?
No! Plumbers never hold pipes together with tape.
Resorting to taping my pipes. I'm thinking outside the box.
It almost looks like we're wrapping it with tinfoil.
There's no way it's gonna hold. No way. No way.
This is definitely not worth it. I'd hire a plumber.
Casey's top layer of tape is the sort made to cover electrical connections.
I'm not quite sure what tape this is. It feels like tinfoil.
The metallic tape is for work on furnace ducts.
Oh.
What does it say inside there?
Stop drafts.
Stop drafts.
Not leaks.
Do you have a draft in your plumbing?
Well, I have a leak. It's kind of like a draft. I don't think I'm going to be able to get her done, unfortunately.
Tex is finishing his radiator cover, but Tara wishes he'd do a tidier job.
Well, I think we should.
I think we should what? Keep telling me. I think we should what? You're gonna make me grow up. I'm trying to do it as fast as I can.
Do you want to do it right, or do you want to make it look stupid?
I just want to get this done. I'm done with this. It's done. Stain it.
No, you stain it, because I don't think it's done. So you stain it. You're on your own.
turn, the clock keeps ticking.
Is people coming today?
Yeah.
As we get closer to naming Canada's worst handyman.
Well, it says you gotta hold it there for 24 hours.
Before we name Canada's worst handyman, guests will be staying overnight in the bed and breakfast rooms that are now being frantically finalized.
They're really coming at 8 o'clock?
Yes.
Holy. Do you realize how long it takes to lay carpet?
Oh, Charmaine.
People are coming. Right now, it should be touch up of the paint, you know. Oh, there's a hole here in the wood. Let's fix that up right now. Not, I have to lay carpet, I have to build, I have to construct. Like, that's not the final little details.
Charmaine has a mountain of tasks in front of her.
At this pace that we're going at, it's just not gonna happen.
Angle shelf is done. Hole in the floor, done. Yep. Wall sconce, done. Love that job.
Desmond has all but 2 of the first 11 tasks complete.
Linoleum is done.
Look at you go.
Carpet, just gotta stick the edges in and do quarter round.
If you watch all of the episodes, I was never the worst of any episode. Best twice, worst 0.
Desmond gives his carpet a haircut, but he's confused by how to cut the molding.
Just trying to think again. If I'm looking that way, I need the 45. This might be wrong. No, that's so wrong. That doesn't match up.
Dez's next attempt is his last.
I give up. I'm spending too much time on this.
Nothing's going right for Joe.
Hole in the floors, not a chance. Do you want to do the mirrors?
Joe wants to stick his mirrors to the wall using an all-purpose adhesive.
Oh, yeah, look at that coming out. Nothing's coming out of this gun. Oh.
Joe, what are you doing? You put it on the back of the mirror.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
This is the way?
Yes.
This is retarded. No, this is just ridiculous, man. It's dumb, man.
Speaking of dumb...
Well, it says you gotta hold it there for 24 hours.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, hang on, it's slipping down the wall now.
Instructions, what did it say?
Said to get a mechanical device.
To what?
To keep it in place for a day.
And are you a mechanical device?
No.
What are you doing standing there like that?
I don't know, man. This mirror ain't working, though. Look at it sliding off the wall. I got a friggin' mirror up.
Now you got glue all over the
And
wall.
now I got glue on the wall. So now we'll have to hang more flowers up. What a idea, man.
Wall sconce, done.
Done.
Curtains, done.
Done.
Linoleum is done.
Tex laid his vinyl floor correctly, but the subfloor he put it on top of was held in place with headless brad nails. Now, it's lifting up.
You can't use brad nails on a subfloor. You got to use the proper nails, and they're usually a ring nail or a screw. All I got to do is fasten it down a little better.
To fasten down his subfloor, Tex repeatedly pierces his waterproof floor.
Yeah, but the head's got a seal in it. Tex is going to learn the hard way today that doesn't work.
For extra stability, Tex is now driving ring nails into his vinyl floor. 247 ring nails, to be exact.
Done.
This is fixing it?
As far as I can see, it's not jumping up and down anymore.
Radiator cover.
To cover his radiator, Casey chooses a meltable product.
It's more of a plastic.
Yeah.
And so this is going to go directly over your radiator.
Over the front.
Something made of plastic. Is going to go on your heat source?
I thought we were told... wait a minute here. What was I thinking?
Radiator cover.
When Joe made his rad cover, it looked like a Gothic weapon before he hacksawed the tips off of all 32 screws. Today, he wants to make a brand new cover.
Oh, it's so stuck too. Look at this, the glue. Man. Oops-a-daisy.
Yowza. What's that? What is that?
It's the adhesive that should be under the vinyl floor.
How did it get underneath that?
I don't know.
That's impressive. If you're ever going to make like a pizza commercial for somebody, you got to tell them, I know the product to use to get the cheese to look mwah!
There you go. Perfect. Now I'm going to show you the trick where I put the brackets in, and if they come out of the thing, I use the hacksaw and saw them off.
Joe doesn't have time for this foolishness.
So you really find it faster to use the big nail and then...
Yeah, but this hacksaw is dull.
That's the dull thing?
Yeah, this is a dull one.
So you're telling me this hacksaw isn't the sharpest tool in the shed?
Yeah. That's for sure.
At least Joe has a favorite new tool.
The hacksaw, man. I fell in love with that thing here. I think I'm gonna get one when I go home and just saw nails all day. Hey?
When his beloved hacksaw won't cut wall paneling for his closet, Joe decides to...
Just gonna cut it with the handsaw. I ain't waiting around no more.
This product should be cut with a circular saw. Joe knows from hands-on experience, though, that if you lean on something for long enough, it will break at its weakest point.
Why do you have this piece that's too big?
Give me the other one, then.
The other one is also too big.
Canada's Worst Handyman will be back right after this break.
Seven episodes ago, the nominees for Canada's Worst Handyman strolled into rehab. Then, they got to know each other by laying waste to an old bathroom.
When the dust settles at the end of this episode, the lousiest builder here will have to go home with the shameful knowledge that he or she is Canada's worst handyman. Just so they don't feel too bad, though, we built them a trophy that can't be broken.
The bed and breakfast rooms that the nominees for Canada's Worst Handyman have been making will receive their first guests very, very soon.
Man, I can't play around. People are coming.
We gotta put it into gear, I think. I'm going into gear.
I wonder what time it is.
Radiator cover?
I just have to stain it.
The instructions say to apply this stain somewhere dry and warmer than 10 degrees Celsius.
So I know we're having a freak spring snowstorm, but is it smart to paint in the snow?
Yeah. I'm not... Andrew.
It's smarter than Charmaine's next bad idea.
Well, that just did not work.
And it's better than Charmaine's next idea.
This isn't working at all.
What's next, Tex?
I'm laying the carpet.
To cut his foam underlay, Tex wants to use his carpet knife.
Do you think scissors would be quicker?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't.
Scissors actually would be quicker.
Scissors. Almighty. Just stops you pain in the ass.
Why do we have to cut it up in little pieces?
When Tex cuts his carpet into the one big piece he needs,
The big end's up there now.
it doesn't fit.
Which way was it supposed to go?
It can't. You should cut the big spot upside down.
I tried my best. Sure. I can't do it. Sure. I don't ever plan on doing it again in my life, so I ain't much worried about this project.
Okay.
Not worth it.
Casey lays a strip of carpet in his mismeasured hole, and he thinks that project's finished.
Carpet is done.
Is it really, though?
Well, I know that's not done.
Carpet, no way.
No way here. No way I'm linoleum. Rita's doing the curtains, and I'm gonna get the bed ready.
That means Joe's list is...
Done.
Done. Done.
The first guy done says 11 of his 13 jobs aren't worth doing.
First one done.
Less than a minute later, Casey's also done. Casey successfully completed 10 of the 13 jobs.
One of the most difficult work days I've probably had in a while in terms of the physical work. I got my butt kicked, for sure.
The builders are racing now.
Splitting. Son of a gun.
When Des mounts his headboard...
No, go left.
Des is... done. The final task on Tex's list is mounting the door. But he says it's not worth it.
A door isn't worth it?
I can't get it on.
Okay.
Not worth it.
Tex completed 9 of the 13 challenges. The last person still struggling with the list is the person who's usually last to finish. Charmaine is finally done. Tex is selflessly trying to save the kitchen by hooking up the sink drain in his own picturesque way.
I have to take my own personal picture of that.
You've never seen that before?
Never, ever seen that before.
Done. Yes. Yes. Are you really done?
Done.
Overall, Tex worked 13 hours on this plumbing project. So we won't tell him it's leaking.
Who's the man?
Who's the foreman? There's no time for dancing.
People are coming in an hour and a half.
15 days ago, we gave this team a very modest budget of just $10,000 to create a kitchen out of this dirty bathroom. The demolition was free, but rental and removal of the bin out back was $400. The team paid for professionals to drywall corner and lay this new subfloor. Also, an electrician hooked up their outlets and their new stovetop. Big ticket items like flooring, cabinets, and this disastrous countertop brought the total cost of this kitchen to a little over $6,600. Once you add on all of the additional small costs, plus a few biggies like the table and chairs and the fridge that's coming, this entire kitchen project cost under $9,000.
Clean up, plastering, that's it.
As the most improved handyman last episode, Desmond is foreman of today's group challenge.
If you need a broom that's not covered in paint.
Desmond's task is to get this bed and breakfast ready for its grand opening 90 minutes from now.
Clear all the put it in a bag, get rid of it.
As the kitchen gets set up...
So where does this go, Des? Anywhere you want. It's the spice racks.
Des gets a little too spicy.
Hey, that's my wife, buddy.
Tupperware. We have 20 minutes left.
When the fridge arrives, the team realizes they didn't install an outlet for it.
Air plug is where?
Air phone's out.
All right, no outlet.
Don't worry about it. Extension cord.
Extension cord. Extension cord!
Where's Char?
Charmaine is cleaning up her room. Casey does the same thing. Tex administers his final spit and polish. Des gets his place looking like paradise. And Joe...
You got a sledgehammer?
Joe's got me running.
Joe the Bullet Barbero cleans up.
This is getting absolutely ridiculous.
Joey, you're not sweeping carpet. Come on. She said to sweep it under the rug. 4 minutes, people! 4 minutes!
Screen right in my face again is gonna get it.
3 minutes!
Who's coming?
Oh, sakes, I just vacuumed this. Cover it up, hide it. 1 minute! We got less than a minute.
All right, if everybody's ready, line up like soldiers.
Let's go, Charmaine, Tina, out to the hub, please.
Fall in however you want to. Fall in however you want to.
Charmaine! Let's Charmaine up here.
Are we happy?
Yep.
They don't look happy, but they should be. After 15 days of solid work, this bed and breakfast is finally ready for business.
Canada's worst handyman, your guests are here.
Before we name Canada's worst handyman, some unfortunate overnight guests will be staying in the bed and breakfast rooms our nominees have created.
Canada's worst handyman, your guests are here.
Oh.
What are you laughing about?
I think we're the guests. We're the guests.
Can I come over there and just give you the biggest pinch in the world or what? Do you know how sore my back is and I'm here?
I hope you like what you did in your rooms, because that's where you're staying tonight.
A1.
Breakfast is served sharp at 10 a.m. You're the cooks.
All the builders are committed to staying overnight, except one.
You're staying?
No. I'll go back with Tina.
When Charmaine was creating her room, she said,
I would stay in there just snuggled up like snug as a bug in a rug. I love my room, don't get me wrong. I would love to stay there.
It's a brand new bed.
I know.
Okay, well, we hope to see you back here for breakfast at least.
Okay.
Coffee will be hot. You'll be ready.
I'll be here.
after 15 days of solid work, the remaining handymen are finally able to unwind and really get to know each other.
I do need to know a few things. What inspired the No Mercy room, my friend?
No mercy, I don't know, man. It just, you know what I mean? That's my golden rule, man.
If you brought me home to this room, Joe, I would be a little worried initially.
In Dez's tropical paradise,
it's a specific themed room.
The theme seems to be
if you
total lovin'.
Oh, are you kidding me? Look at this.
Autograph picture in the front.
Very nice.
The party bounces from room to room.
Could use more flash.
Yeah.
I mean, you only live once.
People pass constant judgment.
That's not finished.
And Tex gets defensive.
You might be voted worst. No, but just
you, Joe.
No, but I mean,
you're the worst thing I ever seen.
I'm not the worst in Canada because this guy here has got all his done, but he hasn't done nothing. His wife's done everything, man.
I don't get how to do carpentry.
I toast to really good friendships being made on this show. And you know what? Oblivious to anybody else, we did a awesome job.
Right.
This is totally livable.
Night, baby doll.
Right.
Nice, sweetie.
Night.
I'm gonna wear my hat in bed, though.
Okay.
Canada's worst handymen have tried the beds. Now it's time to see if their kitchen can produce breakfast.
Keep piling it up, Tex.
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
Morning. So how does the kitchen work in terms of an actual working kitchen?
Not a lot of counter space, not nearly enough. Microwave is in a bad spot, takes up a lot of room.
Are we comfortable walking away from this kitchen?
Yeah.
It's done?
Done.
You guys, it's so not done.
If it's not done, what needs doing?
We have to hook up the fridge to a proper receptacle behind it. The doors have to go on. The Lazy Susan has to get put together. The trim has to be painted. The edging of the floors have to be finished.
The sink has to be fastened down. The counter edges have to be done. There's no oven. There's no dishwasher.
The cupboard has to be moved over, rearrange the counter, put some stuff on the walls. But it's a good solid base, I think.
It's done.
It's fully functional. I'm happy with it. It's better looking than mine at home. I'd live here if you let me move in.
A horrible bathroom being turned into a real kitchen. I'm actually and honestly impressed. to Canada's Worst Handyman.
Cheers.
Cheers, you guys.
Cheers.
It was an honor.
Pretty soon, we're going to know exactly who is Canada's Worst Handyman.
All right.
Final inspections, people. Can I tell you that I'm amazed?
Really?
Really.
Good.
Really.
Casey's chocolate and vanilla unit actually looks like a legitimate bed and breakfast room.
I love the room.
Our experts are not fooled.
This is a prime example of how accessories can cover up a lot.
I'd give it a 2 out of 10. This place is a mess from start to finish. The shower not working, the carpet's put in incorrectly, glue all over the floor, a poor excuse for a rad cover.
In rehab, Casey learned one valuable lesson about handiwork.
At the end of the day, for me, it's just not worth it.
In Charmaine's tranquility room, you'll never hear the soothing sounds of running water from the shower.
I was hoping that I could get a plumber in to fix it.
Her tiles are scattered around.
There's absolutely no purpose in this room.
And her floor, well, it needs reflooring.
It's really soft, and even just hearing the wood, that's kind of scary sounding.
Are you Canada's Worst Handyman?
In 10, 15 minutes, I might be.
How does Desmond think his tropical paradise room rates on a scale of 1 to 10?
I'm gonna say 10.
Wow, it must be nice to have such low standards. Des's shower doesn't work, his wall is a disaster, and
I wouldn't know where to put my luggage.
I had to get rid of the closet. It just didn't fit.
Joe the Bullet's room is next.
God almighty. The bullet room will be busy. That's my prediction.
I'm sorry, but it's beyond tacky.
There'll be more people staying in this room than any other. That's my prediction. Jeff, do you like it?
Can't stand it.
Because?
Jeff doesn't like the hole in the wall, the stolen closet, or the gummed up flooring job.
Did you listen to me in the classroom?
Yeah, I'd listen, man. And then by the time I got here, I forgot what you said.
Tex has no door, no shower, and no idea that putting hundreds of nails through a waterproof floor is bad.
These are drywall ring nails that's punctured the floor everywhere.
Out of 10, Tex, how good is this room?
I'd say 7.5 on the Richter scale.
Designer Joe agrees that Tex's mural, his flooring, and his scallop-covered fishing net are all epic disasters.
C'est la vie.
And I don't know if it's appropriate for a bedroom.
This is my room. What can I say?
After the break, we name names.
Canada's Worst Handyman is...
We're about to decide which of these nominees is Canada's Worst Handyman. But first, the experts and I need to inspect their kitchen.
What do you think of the kitchen?
It's terrible.
What's wrong with it?
Handles, cupboards, plumbing violations, leaks.
Designer Joe is not a fan of the tile and grout countertop.
Anytime grout is in the kitchen, it gets dirty, you get food stuck in it, it starts to stain.
How about on their...
Oh, Jesus, my goodness, what was that? I can't figure out why it leaks. You know what happened here?
Boy, that was well installed.
Yeah. Tex took all the retaining tabs off here, and that's why this bad boy doesn't stick in here. You put that in the next kitchen you design?
No, I'm not touching it.
Let's talk about who the worst is. Canada's Worst Handyman. Does Des have any place in this conversation?
No.
Perhaps Charmaine is the worst.
She's not a handyman. She's an arts and craft lady.
Here's why Casey's in the running to be the worst. He didn't do his room. His wife did it.
But I think he made improvements.
Who do you have as worst?
I have Joe. There was not one thing completed in that room. There's not one thing worth keeping in that room. Carpet's destroyed, linoleum's destroyed, rad cover's garbage, door doesn't work, shower doesn't work, color, tables, workbenches I broke.
This is a long list.
In my opinion, Canada's absolutely worst handyman.
The troubles in Tex's room are just as extensive. Hacked up carpet, worse linoleum, no plumbing, cracked walls, objectionable taste, and in the kitchen, Tex worked forever on the sink.
7 hours, 3 feet of plumbing.
But he never got it right.
My plumbing leaked in the kitchen.
That wasted time could be the work of the worst.
Don't you think?
No, I don't.
Joe the designer thinks Tex is the worst. Jeff the builder says it's Joe the bullet.
And I have my own opinion, and I agree with one of you. So, we've got a majority. We all know why we're here, so let's get right down to it. Des, you are not Canada's worst handyman. Take a step back. Casey, it shocks me to say this, but you're not Canada's worst handyman. Yes! Take a step back. Joe, buddy, stay right where you are.
My heart's starting to beat.
Charmaine, you're not Canada's worst handyman. Tex, I'm afraid to say you might be the worst handyman in Apple River, and you might be the worst in Canada. Stand with Joe.
So, who's worse? Is it the full steam ahead sailor who gets himself into trouble he can't get out of?
Or is it the demolition man who has more strength than sense?
Tex and Joe share a lot of common handyman problems.
Well, that's why I'm here. I've been electrocuted twice.
I have electrocuted myself a few times.
They're both disorganized.
Where's that saw?
They're both painful screwers. And they both like to cut corners. Tex and Joe also both enjoy using hammers where hammers don't belong.
Plumbing with a hammer. Cutting with a hammer.
They both try to
get her done.
Sometimes it works.
Done.
But usually
I can't get nothing done.
That results in bad language.
Ow! That's...
And worse handiwork.
I'm not doing that. Finish it yourself.
Canada's worst handyman is...
Take that off of there, Joe.
It's time, my friend, to hang your head in shame for one final time.
When I saw that photo, I felt like a real dummy.
There really isn't any doubt about it.
What the hell?
Joe the Bullet Barbaro is Canada's worst handyman.
I'm gonna hang it on that. I don't care. See what I did?
I'm not sure that Joe understands. This is an award you're not supposed to win.
That title won't last for more than a year or two because I'll start doing things.
The last thing Joe has to do here is clean out his room any way he wants to.
Beautiful.
Joe wants to demolish it.
Here, get busy then.
Joe, that's too busy, man. Hey, put a hat on, Joe.
Oi! Is this really the smartest way to clean up? Surely you can do that another way.
This is the best way.
Hey!
for another season of Canada's Worst Handyman. If you know somebody who needs some help with their home renovating skills, give us a shout. Season 4 is coming soon, assuming I survive. Woo! See what I did?
Joe the Bullet Barbaro, Canada's worst handyman.
No mercy.